Hello, everyone, and happy Sunday. Happy week 5. I hope you're all doing well and you enjoyed the beautiful weekend. Got outside and away from your screens. This is it. So we've got 1 week until the March break now, which is so fantastic. I hope you're looking forward to the break. And the goal this week is to get everything done by Friday so that you don't have to think about anything over the break for this course. That's really should be your goal. Your goal should be to actually take a break over the March break, really just get outside a lot and away from your screens. Okay. So this is also the 5th week of our course. I've been marking like a fiend. If you don't know, I have over 90 students this semester, so marking is a massive undertaking. But the feedback that I give you is really important. So do be sure that you are reviewing the feedback so that you can continue to grow. And I will be giving you a mark update very soon. And then 5th week reports actually go out the week after March break. But if there are any issues, I've already been contacting you anyways. Okay, so this week is pretty simple actually, but again, you really want to just stay on top of it so that you can get through it and not have anything to think about after Friday. Don't forget to do your participation activity. That's your attendance check for the week. On Monday, we have a lesson. So in this lesson, again, just make sure that you're taking notes on the lesson and all of the videos embedded. So it's a slide deck, but just imagine I'm up in front of the class teaching it. If you have any questions about the content or it's just not making sense, I try to make these lessons really, really detailed. And so again, this is it's one of it's the way we do the e-learning. So really detailed, making sure that you're taking notes. Anything that we're doing, again, whether it's a discussion post or a case study or what have you, your job is to connect it back to the content from the slide decks, right? You want to prove to me that you've been doing the work in any opportunity that you get. So for example, with your second journal entry, you were given a TED Talk video and I expected you to actually connect to the TED Talk, use examples from the TED Talk in your written response. And that's what I want to see throughout the course is your job is to prove to me that you've done the work, that you've gone through the articles, the videos, and the lessons, and that you're showing me those connections in your work, okay, in your body of work. All right. So that's Monday's task. On Tuesday, you're watching a documentary called Office Land. This is pretty great. You can access it here through Curio just by logging in with your board site, board email, and password. If that doesn't work, it's also available off the CBC site. It's about 43 minutes. And then you have to go and do a discussion post. So the discussion post is going to ask a series of questions based on the lessons as well as obviously watching the documentary. For this discussion post, I want to see evidence of the documentary in your answer. So using examples from the documentary so that I can see that you've done the work. Again, with discussion posts, you do have to write your post. And then after that, make sure that you ask a question so that your peers can answer that question, creating and stimulating that class discussion. And then you are responsible for answering 2 questions of your peers. Okay. And then the case study is what we get into on Wednesday. So case studies are business scenarios. It's basically a situation that would occur in the business world. And then your job is to apply what we've learned as to how you would handle it from a business perspective. So anything that we've learned so far in the first unit, you're going to use that knowledge. So anything about managerial skills, what it takes to be a manager, managing decisions, things like that, you're going to actually apply it to this case. So this is available in Dropbox, okay? Your job with a case study is to go through the case with a fine-tooth comb. Usually in a classroom environment, we'd have students kind of print this out and like highlight parts or take it apart, right? Highlight the most important things. You can do that by making your own copy of the document and highlighting the document online if you want. Whatever works for you. So you're going to read through this case and figure out, just really go through it, get all of the tiny details. And then you're going to be given a series of questions, right? So the first is, what are the primary management problems of this case? Make a list. So again, going through the case and really clearly identifying, like, what are the issues? What's happening in this situation that's actually causing this unrest in this organization, okay? And then once you have a thorough list of these problems, then you can actually look at the root cause of the problem. So what do you think is the actual issue? So we see all of the different problems. What's causing those problems? There's usually 1 or 2 major threads or major themes as to why all of these myriad of problems are existing. So using, again, the content that we've learned from class so far, using the information about understanding what it means to be a manager, Start to really try to dissect what's the cause of these problems that you've just listed. And then you have to come up with a list of solutions to solve these problems. Now, your solution should be specific to the problems. Again, don't present a solution that's not going to solve the problem. You have to tie it back to the cause of the problem and the problems themselves. So it's not a solution to fire somebody. That's not actually a solution. Okay, it gets rid of the quote unquote problem, but you still have a whole aftermath of issues going on around you. It's not going to solve the problem. Okay, so coming up with some original creative solutions that actually address the causes of the problem as well as the list of problems is really, really important. It's going to take some thinking. Okay, and then from there, you're going to actually choose the best solution. So again, in step number 3, you're going to list a variety of different solutions. I'm looking for, at least 3 to 5 solutions to the problems. And then from there, I want you to try to think, well, from this list, what's the best solution? What do you think is actually the best solution? Now, this can be a combination of some of them, right? You might want to do a blend. And then you want to say, well, how are you actually going to implement that? What will that look like? What's the timeline like? Okay. So again, the solution isn't just fire someone. Again, I'm trying not to give too many details because I want you to do the work yourselves. But I have seen that answer in the past, and it's not a good answer. Okay, there's a lot more going on here. Use the content that you've learned from the slide decks to help you with that. Okay, so this is your first case study. So again, really with case studies, you want to make sure that they're very specific, that you're very clear in what you're identifying. You're welcome to use headings to divide the different questions, and you're welcome to use point form like bullet points. So for example, what are the primary management problems? Use bullet points for that. Right? But for the last question, the best solution and how it will be implemented and when, that definitely is a long answer question. You really want to give me the most detail there so I can understand, have a really good feeling of, okay, how are they going to handle these problems that they've identified? Okay. So hopefully that makes sense. So that's what you're working on this week. So it's kind of, again, you just have the 2 things that you're doing. Oh, sorry, I meant to show you. This also is the actual assignment, but it's all there for you as well. Okay, so again, making a copy of the document, read through the case, and then you're going to answer the questions. You don't have to make a copy of this document, by the way. You can just create your own original document and answer it that way. So that's not a requirement either. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the week. You've got the discussion post and the case study as well as the lesson. So it's pretty gentle. Like I said, if it were me, my goal would be to get it done by Friday so that I could just have it off my plate. All of this content is due the Monday that we return from the March break, however. So it will be, you'll actually get the March break to complete it. I wouldn't do that. I really wouldn't do that. In fact, traditionally what happens when students decide, oh, this is all due after the March break, they wait until the March break to do it, but then they actually do fun things over the March break and they don't get down to their homework. And then they're trying to finish it on the Sunday before the March break and it really shows in their work, or they don't get it in on time. And I don't like that. So you've got 2 weeks, but I would really focus on getting it done by Friday. I think you'll be very pleased if you do. And if you have any questions, you know where to find me. Just send me an email, okay? I hope you all have a fantastic March break. You'll be seeing me again on the Sunday at 8 o'clock before the week we return, obviously, at the end of the March break. I myself am going to Florida to see my niece who was born 6 months ago. I have not seen my sister in years because of the pandemic. So wish me luck. I hope we don't get COVID. No, I'm just kidding. I'm excited to get away, and I hope you all really do. I really can't stress enough. Get away from your screens, get away from your computers, and really enjoy some time with your family and friends. Okay, take care. I'll see you online.